All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to she tries to lecture Andrew Wilson, but he ends up triggering her. Let's jump in, guys.
Kids, correct? You would do absolutely anything for the kids, especially if they were sick?
No, I wouldn't do anything. I would do things within the confines of the ethical purview of Christianity for my children.
Okay.
But anything is asking for, that's a tall order. That's asking for something that is, would I compromise my ethical standards for my kids to some degree? Probably, right? But I wouldn't, there would be limits that I would put on that.
Would you start an OnlyFans, Andrew? Andrew,
No.
you know? Would you strip?
Maybe if the compromise was so this is a hard conundrum, right, within the ethical purview. So I just want to answer as honestly as I can. If there was gun to one of my kids' heads, we're gonna pull it if you don't start an OnlyFans. Yeah, I probably would then, under duress, right, under that sort of extreme duress. But if it was something like there's a monetary objective which there's a possibility to reach in any other way than this particular one that's for the health and welfare of my children, then I would obviously go for any of those in which were not conducive to sin. That would be what my primary goal would be, right? So the thing is I think you can, in this sense, in the ethical sense, kind of have your cake and eat it too. I think you can do both.
Andrew, let me ask you a question. Let's say this almost is her scenario, at least as she describes it, almost is the hypothetical scenario I'm going to give you. She's attempted other avenues. Say other avenues have been attempted and exhausted. A mother who loves her children needs to pay for a healthcare procedure. Otherwise, the child's life may be at risk. In order to do so, she does sex work and then quits immediately thereafter, after the medical scenario has been resolved.
Yeah.
Do you give any quarter then, or even then, if it comes at the potential?
Yes, of course. Of course, that would completely change the way that the situation was viewed. Of course it would. The problem is in this situation, she was doing prostitution before such medical condition was known to her. So
when
it's
I was paying for my children's therapies before they got on DDD?
Yeah, no, there's other ways to pay for therapy. Like, I have a child who has autism. And guess what I never had? I never went and stripped, right? Instead, I went and got this thing that we like to call a job, and I went and worked at it really, really, really hard, and couldn't come up with ends meet most months. Somehow still managed, and she's thriving.
Who watches your kids while you work?
It's hard out there, I know, but I did it.
Who watches your kids while you work?
My wife.
Okay, so me not having a significant other, and you guys are really against other people raising your kids, correct?
No, it's situational. When you're talking about optimums, you're talking about what is optimal. You can't always reach what is optimal. The idea, if you're a single mom,
They're trying to look for some holes in Andrew's situation. He knows. She's trying to look for some holes, and that way she can use those holes in their favors, and that way they can use it as ammunition against Andrew. You see what I'm saying? So Andrew knows what's going on.
and you're going to have babysitting, that's going to be a necessity, right? Is it optimal? No, but being a single mom in the first place isn't optimal. You're already out of that situation, right?
And
so what we don't want to find is compounding situations with more and more bad decisions. That's the point of it.
And I would absolutely love to have people babysit my kids, but with me not having much of my any of my family's help, and the only person that I do have helping me is my daughter's dad and my baby's dad. Me finding a babysitter, childcare in Phoenix is extremely expensive, which
expensive everywhere.
Yeah, so that's almost out of the question.
But you also get tons and tons of social welfare and all sorts of things, which are handed to you.
I'm not on welfare. I'm applying.
Including assistance with childcare, which that is the case, even in Phoenix. And I'm sure I can look it up right now, and I'm sure that is the case, that you will get some sort of financial aid when it comes to babysitting.
Go ahead. What's your question?
I'm not judging you. I think everybody should do, what makes them happy.
This is why females should not be discussing this type of topics, guys. I mean, it's not about judgmental. It's just about telling her the truth and make sure she's okay making her decision. But when they come up with this BS, it's just give her it's like an opportunity for her just go straight to the not being accountable door. I don't want to try to be judgmental, but like, if you're gonna come up with it's your opening argument, it's gonna be like I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to hear it because you already gave her the door of no accountability. So these are
Drug dealers?
qualifiers.
Anyways, I
I think
think,
that's a valid question, but go ahead. Go ahead.
was that a question or a statement?
I think it was a question.
What?
Statement. I
I think
think,
that's a valid question, but go ahead. Even drug dealers?
what makes
Oh,
them
the drug
happy,
dealer.
but
Even drug dealers?
anyways, I
I think
think,
that's a valid question, but go ahead. Go ahead.
was that a question or a statement?
I think it was a question.
A good option, like
Damn, that was
that
rude,
you
huh?
can do that can make you a lot of money is live streaming. I mean, TikTok, Bigo, all those things.
I'll let you
like,
guys talk about that after the show, though. I mean, we can find her solutions. Let's.
It's just something I wanted to put out there. But, all right.
Okay.
Thing is like, I don't know, like every situation is different and all situations should be appraised based on the situation's merit itself. There's all sorts of people who are in terrible situations that are not of their own doing and trying to make the best of it. I get that, I understand that. And I also understand that there can be social stigma applied to people that unfairly so, because they're in situations other people normally put themselves in because they don't care or they don't give a shit or they're just bad people. I get that, right? But in this particular situation, it does not actually appear that all avenues were exhausted, but rather that you're using this now as a standard for which to say, I only do X activity, which I consider to be bad on behalf of one of my children.
Yes, it's like using her kids to justify why what she's doing is okay. You see what I'm saying? She's literally using her kids to justify what she's doing. Right? I don't think that's a good avenue to go with.
Before, you were doing same said activity, bad activity, before this thing bad was happening to that child. So it's
Ogle donated $999. Pop champagne.
You see what she said? Clapping while he was talking. That's trying to disconnect the conversation right here. You can kind of feel these things, right? You feel like a little bit that means that yes, it was meant for that to happen. She's disconnecting the conversation between Andrew and Streetwalker. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.